Hey YouTube, how's it going? Kevin Cleary here with a quick first impressions video on the CRKT Homefront. So this is of course the knife that has the little takedown mechanism there for easy disassembly and cleaning. Sort of reminds me of a gun. You know, it's already got the World War II feel to it, and then you add this sort of takedown mechanism. You know, most firearms have a pretty simple takedown mechanism because the idea is they may have to be taken down and cleaned in the field. Is that the same with a knife? I don't know. All right, but let me give you sort of a little data about the knife in general. I'll come in a little closer there so you can see the bannering on the blade. Homefront, patent pending, Ken Onion design. On this side, it's CRKT and first production. The knife is 4.8 ounces, so reasonable for its 8 1/4 inch size. The blade is 3.5 inches and the handle is 4 3/4 inches. By the way, it's about 1/2 inch thick. I will say it is aluminum with that sort of olive drab coloring. Single position pocket clip there, right side tip up only. Flipper only, I suppose. Yeah, there's no... even with two hands, it's not that easy to open this knife without using the flipper. Overall, I do like the design. I tend to be a fan of Ken Onion's work, and this is no exception. So let's go ahead and pull in the instructions that come with the knife. There they are, a little better than my son's Lego set, just 3 steps. It says, in the closed position, slide the front release lever to disengage, then rotate the release wheel, and then pull the knife apart to easily clean. Well, I'm not going to do the cleaning part, but let's see. If I close this, I'm going to use 2 hands here, flick the little switch, spin the release wheel, and take the knife easily apart. Interesting. There we go. So the knife does come apart pretty readily. There are the 3 parts. In case you're wondering, these are Teflon washers and they're sort of stuck to the scales there. There's the internal stop pin. By the way, this is helpful because if you've never seen an internal stop pin, you know, normally I don't take knives apart. I'll just say it's an internal stop pin. This is what it means. The stop pin is riding inside the blade so that you can't see it. All right, so let's put it back together since I'm kind of starting that process already. I will push a little to compress the lock, okay? Just in case you see me sort of straining a bit, that's all I'm doing. So I'll tighten this up at the back and apply a little pressure at the front and flick that into place. So have we got an operational knife? Yeah, we're good to go. So follow the instructions and pretty much it works as it says. It does feel quite solid, and you know, I don't feel like I've messed anything up. You can see the centering is still about the same. I guess I didn't show you before, but you'll have to take my word for it. The centering is about the same. So there you go, guys. You know, we're only 3 minutes in, so that's kind of the overall sort of features and size and weight and stuff. My impression of this knife, which is the purpose of the video, is we've got a nice knife. It is a little more polished, let's say, than what we sometimes see from CRKT. The quality, I would suggest to you, is there. The blade steel, being Aus 8, is not up to, you know, I'd like to see something better than that VG10 or 154 CM at that $100 price point. So yeah, I feel like this knife should come down in price a bit, and it likely will. I would expect to see these selling for around 70 bucks, and at that price, it's not too bad. I will add, just as a way of sort of qualifying this a little, CRKT tends to do a pretty good job with their Aus 8 steel. So my experience has been slightly better performance out of CRKT's Aus 8 than some other companies, let's say Cold Steel or Ontario. CRKT and SOG tend to do Aus 8 especially well. Anyway, there you go, guys. That's my take on the CRKT Homefront. Cool design, well implemented in terms of its comfort and overall function. I love the blade shape. I will speak in the review in some detail about how practical or useful I feel like the ability to take down a knife actually is. But for now, I think, if someone just handed me this knife and said, hey, what do I think of it if I've never really seen it before? I'd feel it and say, hey, this is a pretty solid, well-built knife. I really have no major issues with it. I like the design, I like the comfort in hand and overall look of it. I also like the hollow grind on that blade. You guys know I'm partial to that. So there's my sort of initial reaction to the CRKT Homefront. Look for the full review coming up shortly. Go ahead and subscribe so that you don't miss that when it comes out in a couple weeks. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.